This conference will now be recorded.
Right, let's start. Yeah, is my voice is audible and clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So in the last session, we have seen what standard baddies, which is filter dependent. Okay, now let's see an example on menu enhancements. Okay, so already we know as part of this enhancements, that is customer exits and baddies, we have seen how to implement additional validations and how to plug what additional fields. Okay, now let us see menu enhancements. Right, so menu enhancements, as the name itself suggests, it is used for plugging what additional menu items. So in the standard SAP transactions, okay, in the standard SAP transactions, you'll have many predefined menus. Okay, so in that predefined menus, we'll have what some menu items which are already given by SAP. We need to plug what our own menu items. Okay, so that can be done through what menu enhancement. And these additional menu items we cannot plug wherever we want. Okay, these additional menu items we cannot plug wherever we want. SAP itself will provide the menu. In that menu only we can plug the additional menu items. So already we know in our normal ABAP also, suppose if you take a transaction code like MM01, okay, so these are all the standard menus given by SAP, like material, edit, go to, default, system. These are all the standard menus. Every menu item will have what function code. Every menu item will have what function code. So that depending on the menu item we select, an appropriate action will be performed. Similarly, by using this menu enhancements, we can plug what our own menu items. Okay, we can plug our own menu items. So for those additional menu items, the function codes are given by SAP itself. Understood? The function codes are given by SAP itself, and those function codes, okay, those function codes will start with what plus symbol. Understood? So menu enhancements used for what? Plugging what? Additional menu items. It is used for plugging additional menu items. Okay, it is used for plugging additional menu items in the standard menus of the standard transaction. Understood? There are many predefined transactions given by what SAP. Those predefined transactions will have what many standard menus. Okay, so for this particular additional menu items, the function codes are given by what SAP itself. Okay, so for the additional menu items, okay, function codes will be provided by what SAP, and they generally, okay, they generally start with what plus symbol. Okay, the function codes whichever given by SAP, they generally start with what plus symbol. Okay, developer needs to provide only the what text for the additional menu items. So as a developer, we need to provide the text for the additional menu items and implement the what corresponding functionality. Implement the corresponding functionality. So these are the activities which we need to do related to what menu enhancement. Okay, we cannot add the menu items in whichever menu we want. It can be added only in the what appropriate places provided by SAP, and the function codes for those additional menu items will be provided by what SAP itself. Just we need to provide the additional menu items. So let's take an example here. Okay, so already we know. First, let us see menu enhancements using what customer exits. Then we'll see another example for menu enhancements using what baddies. So I'll take some transaction. Okay, like let me take a transaction, or let me put it here. Yeah, I'll take a transaction here, MC94. Okay, we have a transaction what MC94. Let us see whether this transaction has got any what menu items. So how do we identify? We have to check the components of, we have to check whether the transaction contains any customer exits, and we need to check whether that customer exit contains any menu enhancements or not. So as usual, we already know the process of identifying the customer exit in a transaction. So I'll go to SE93. What is the transaction code? MC94. Am I clear? So to identify the customer exits in a transaction, I'll go to SC93. What you have to do? For that transaction, we have to identify the main program. For that program, we have to identify the package. So for that reason, I'll go to SC93. What is the T code? MC94. What is this here? Change a flexible planning, it seems. Okay, so for this particular transaction, the program is so and so. The program is so and so. I'll double click on the program. What is the program name? SAP MMCP6. Okay, there's a transaction. Okay, for this transaction, the program is so and so. Then we need to identify the package of the program. Okay, what is the package of the program? So I'll choose go to attributes. What is the package? MCP2. This is related to what? MM module, material management, MCP2. Okay, so the package is MCP2. So in this package, we need to identify the customer exit. So same navigations, I'll go to SC84, right? I'll go to SC84. Yeah, in this SC84 under enhancements, I'll search for what? Customer exits, double click on the enhancements. What is the package name? MCP2, right? This is the package name. When I execute this, yeah, these are the available what? Customer exit. So in that particular transaction MC94, okay, we have many customer exits. They are the customer exits. So as usual, we know we need to check the components of each customer exit. We need to read the documentation to understand what that customer exit contains. So if you see here, yeah, I'll take MCP 20001. Let me take one by one. MCP 20001 user exit to read external data for planning table. So let me check whether this customer exit contains any function exit. So what is the exit name here? MCP 20001. So let us go to SMOT T code. MCP 20001 is a customer exit, right? If I display, if I choose components, Yeah, you can see here, it has got one function exit. We don't have any screen exit. Already we have seen one example for screen exit, or two examples we have seen. So we don't have any screen exit, and you can see in the middle, we have something called as function code. So what I told here, for the additional menu items, the function codes will be provided by what SAP itself, and they generally start with what plus symbol. So this customer exit doesn't have any what function exit. So this is ruled out. Let me take another customer exit, MCP 20003. MCP 20003. So in a SMOT T code, I'll provide the enhancement name, that is customer exit name, MCP 20003. I'll choose components display. Yeah, you can see here, it has got one function exit, and it has got some function codes here. Na? Those function codes will start with a plus symbol. So how many function codes? CU3. I'll put the cursor here. Click on this button, next page. CU4, CU5, CU6, CU8, CU9. Yeah, there are some 9 function codes given by SAP. So what is the meaning? I can add up to 9 additional menu items. Understood? So this customer exit contains what? Menu enhancements. Am I clear? This customer exit contains menu enhancements. Right? It has got one function exit also, no screen exit. So what you have to do as a developer, we need to only provide the text for the additional menu items and implement the corresponding what functionality. So what is the customer exit name? MCP 20003. MCP 20003. Let me check any documentation available. So our agenda is what? To add what? Additional menu items. I can add up to what? 9 additional menu items. So in which menu it will come, we cannot decide, we cannot control. So if I go back, yeah, if I choose what? Documentation, let me check any documentation available. Display. Yeah, use this enhancement to define your own function codes in the flexible planning. For this purpose, you must change the status so and so for module program so and so. You must also change the text in extras, customer functions. So what is the menu? They are saying extras menu, it seems. Extras menu, customer function. Yeah. Confirm the warning that these menu entries are also used in other status. You can then call this self-defined function codes in your own program. In your own program, ZXSOP, use, if you want to use them, you must create this program yourself. Okay. So this is the program ZXSO 03, it seems. So from reading, by reading the documentation, we understood that the additional menu items may appear in what? Extras menu, right? So I have not yet implemented this enhancement. What I'll do first, I'll try to run the T code what? MC94. Okay, so if you don't know how to use the T code, I already told you we have to coordinate with the functional consultant to understand how to use that particular T code. Right, any questions so far? Yeah, so let me run the T code MC94. MC94. By reading the documentation, what we understood, the additional menu items will appear in what? Extras menu. It will appear in what? Extras menu. So I'll go to MC94. Yeah, you can see here. I got the initial screen here. Do we have any extras menu here? No, we are planning edit, go to system help. So this may not be the appropriate screen where we can plug the additional menu items. So I need to go inside other screen. So it is asking something called as planning type. So as I told you, we have to take the help of functional consultant to understand the sample data that we need to provide so that we can navigate across the screens. One second. Right. So here what you have to do here, in the initial screen, it is asking something called as planning type. So if I browse this, it is showing me different values here. One of the values what commit. So which value we have to provide, we don't know. We have to take the help of what? Functional consultant to understand what is the sample data that we need to provide. So what is the first entry as something commit it seems. I'll just provide commit. I'll go inside. I'll go inside. So to go inside, I don't have any button here. So might be I need to press enter. So I'll press enter here. Yeah, I went inside. So in this screen also, I don't have any extras menu. Again, this may not be the appropriate screen. So there are some fields here. There are some buttons here, active version, inactive version. Let me click on the button active version. I'm just trying to navigate to the screen where I can see the extras menu. So I'll click on what active version. Yeah, I got another screen. Yeah, in this screen you can see here, I'm having the extras menu. So this may be the appropriate screen where I can plug the additional menu items. I repeat, we cannot plug the items wherever we want. SAP itself will provide the appropriate menus. In that menus only, we can plug the additional menu items. By reading the documentation, we understood that we can plug in what? Extras menu. So here, if I go to extras menu, you can see they are the standard menu items, copy data, something like that. We have one entry here, customer function. So in the documentation also, we have seen extras custom. This is disabled as of now. So I need to implement this. So when I implement, this might be enabled with what? Menu items. So let us implement this. Already we know how to implement. I'll go to what? CMod. So I'll go to CMod. Yeah, I'll give the project name something Z project 2 something. ZPRJ2. Click on create. It is saying already exists. The project is already exist. I can create a new project, or already we know in one project I can attach any number of enhancements. Okay, so I'll go for new project ZPRJ3 create some description. Yeah, I have to assign the customer exit now. So I'll click on what? Enhancement assignments. Let us save it in the local object. Here it is asking the enhancement name. What is the enhancement name we collected? MCP 20003. The second one, MCP 20003. So I'll just try to attach. Already we know from the last 1 week we have discussed customer exit. One of the limitation is it supports only single implementation. If this enhancement is already assigned to another project, again we cannot assign here. So I'll say MCP 20003. I'll press enter. Yeah, I'm not getting any error. So what is the meaning? It is not attached to any other project. Done. So we have attached the enhancement here. Then go to what? Components. Yeah, what you have to do as a developer, we need to provide the what? Text for the additional menu items. So what I'll do here, if I go inside, you can see we have one function exit and we have one menu exit. It is in display mode. Let me open the project in change mode. Yeah, it has opened in change mode. So how many menu items? 9 menu items. These function codes are given by SAP itself, and they generally start with a plus symbol. So you provide the text whatever you want. How do I provide? Just double click, I think. Just double click on the function code. Yeah, provide the function text. I'll provide the function text as something. ABAP editor. So if you want to give any icons, information text, you can give it. I'll just say copy. Yeah, it is asking for the request. I'll go for a new request. Right, so done. I'll double click on the second one. I'll give the text as something function builder, some text I'm providing. Right, so I will provide text only for these three menu items. Okay, so done. Then what is the documentation is saying? We have to implement the logic for this function exits. How do I implement? Already, if you remembered 1 week back, we have discussed one screen enhancement example, mp01 code, mp01 code. So for that screen enhancement, by using that screen enhancement, we are able to plug what? Additional fields, right? And for that screen enhancements, we have seen some two associated function exits, PBO function exit and PA function exit. PBO function exit we have implemented to default the values. PA function exit we have implemented to capture the data entered in the runtime, right? So the base for screen exit is what? Function exit. Similarly, the base for menu exit will be function exit. Means what are the implementation you want to provide for the additional menu items? We provide that in what? Function exit. So we have one function exit, might be, we already know a function exit will be associated with a function module. In that function module, you will have one Z include reserved for what? User modification. So I'll double click on this function exit. Right, it has opened the function module. In the source code, you can see this is the program. So in the documentation also, it is referring to the same program. Now we need to double click on this include, create the program and write the implementation. That's what the document is saying. So we need to create this program. If it is not there already, we have to create this particular include program. I'll double click on this. Yeah, if you're double clicking for the first time, you'll get a warning message in the status bar. I'll press enter. It is saying include does not exist. Create the object, yes. I'll save it in the local object. So we know the normal ABAP concepts. Whenever we click on any push button or whenever we click on any menu items, the function codes of those elements will be captured in the system field SciUcom. Na? So I'll write the logic. Case what? SciUcom. When what are the function codes given by SAP? CU1. Na? CU1. Generally for the menu items, you'll call the transactions. I'll just call the transaction as C38. Similarly, I provided text for three menu items. Na? Let me call the appropriate transactions. They are the function codes given by SAP. End for case is what? End case. Save. Check for the syntax error. Yeah, I don't have any errors. I'm getting some warnings related to the existing parameters. Leave it. Activate this. Done. Successfully activated. Okay. So I'm just calling the transaction. This is my implementation logic. Activate your function model. Go back. Activate your thing. Done. Enhancement is activated. Go back and activate your project. So activate your include program, activate the function model, activate the enhancement, activate the project. It is activated. Done. Let us test it. So what is the T code? MC94. Okay, commit. I'll go inside. I'll click on some button, active version. Right, I'll choose extras menu. Good. So earlier you can see customer functions was disabled. Now it is enabled, right? So if I choose this, yeah, you can see I provided the text for what? Three menu items. If I click on this, I have not defined any functionality, customer function 4. Yeah, nothing is happening because you have not defined any functionality. Okay, extras, customer functions, ABAP editor. Done, working fine. So that function exit is getting triggered. Whenever I click on this menu items, the function exit gets triggered. It is going to execute that include program. Yeah, we are able to call the transactions. So the point we have to understand is menu enhancements is nothing but what? It is the process of what? Plugging what? Additional menu items in the standard transactions. In general, for the additional menu items, the function codes will be provided by what? SAP itself. Will be provided by SAP itself. Okay, and that function codes will start with what? Will start with what? Plus symbol. As a developer, we should only provide the text for the additional menu items. And most of the times, these additional menu items will be available in the extras menu. We cannot add the additional menu items wherever we want. If you want to add wherever you want, we require what? Access key. So that is the reason we need to read the documentation to understand all these things. So this is one example. Like that, you take any transaction, the process will remain what? Same. So this is menu enhancement using what? Customer exit. If you go for a menu enhancement using baddie also, it is the same concept. But we already know we have SC18, SC19, enhancement spot, enhancement implementation. We have discussed all this. So let me take one more example on this menu enhancement. I'll try to implement that using what? Baddies. Yeah, any queries up to this point? Right. So I'll take another example. Yeah, I'll go to SC93. I'm having a T code like FBL3N. This is related to FICO model, finance and controlling. We have a T code what? FBL3N. FBL3N. So what is my agenda here? In this transaction, let us see whether it contains any menu enhancement. So it can be available in the form of customer exit or it might be available in the form of baddies. So I'll go to this T code FBL3N. If I display, yeah, what is the text here? General ledger account line item. This is related to FICO model, right? So this is the program name RF item GL, RF item GL. So example two, what is the transaction here? FBL 3N, FBL 3N. For this transaction, we need to identify the program name. For this program, we have to identify the package of the program. So if I double click on this program, it's a normal executable report. If I choose go to attributes, what is the package name here? FREP, financial accounting. Okay, so the package name is FREP. Right. So in this package, let us see whether it has got any customer exit first. FREP is a package. So I'll go to SC84, SC84 Business Repository Information System. Under what? Enhancements. We have what? Business add-ins and customer exit. First, let me check for again customer exits. I'll double click on this enhancements. What is the package name? FREP is a package name. FREP is a package name. Execute this. Yeah, it has got what? Some exit name. Reserve for bad debit, calculate percentage. F104 0001. F104 0001. So I'll go to SMOD T code, right? In the SMOD T code, what is the enhancement name? Customer exit name F104 0001. F104 0001 is a customer exit name. If I display, okay, done. I'll click on components. Yeah, it has got only one function exit. It doesn't have any menu exit. It doesn't have any screen exits. Am I clear? So ruled out. So let me check whether this transaction has got any baddies, right? I'll expand this. Already we know all these things. Okay, I'll double click on definitions. What is the package name? Frep is a package name. When I execute, yes, it has got what? It has got around 9 8. So if you see the right hand side, it is talking about what? Menu enhancement. There are three menu enhancements here. Okay. So I'll take one of them here. You practice other things. What is that here? I'll take this fi underscore items underscore menu E01. fi underscore items underscore menu E01. So the baddie name is fi underscore items underscore menu E01, right? So let me check whether this baddie contains a menu enhancement. So I'll go to what? SC18, SC18. Acha. If you observe this, is it showing any enhancement spot here? No, it is not showing any enhancement spot. So obviously it is a classical baddie. So I'll choose baddie name. What is this? fi underscore items underscore menu E01 is a baddie name. So let me check the components of this baddie. Understood? I'm not going for enhancement spot because it is clearly showing there is no enhancement spot. So again, we should not think what is enhancement spot. That story is over. Already from last 1 week we have discussed, right? So I'll directly open the baddie name fi underscore items underscore menu E01. If I display, yeah, definition name is so and so. Hmm. Yeah, done. It is filter independent. Remember, it is filter independent. I don't have any filter. Already we have seen couple of examples, some filters also done. Right, I'll go to F codes, function codes are good. Here also you can see there are four function codes I give. Means what is the meaning? I can add up to what? Four menu items, and those function codes are given by what? SAP. They start with what? Plus symbol. Okay, CS01, CS02, CS03, CS04. Okay, I'll check the documentation. Any documentation? Yeah, you can see here. With this baddie, you can activate up to four menu enhancements in the line item table. In the line item table, the menu entries appear in the menu bar under what? Extras. So here also it is saying that the additional menu items will appear under what? Extras menu. Okay, so I cannot add wherever we want. Keep that point in mind. Right. Okay, so it is a ALV report might be. So under extras menu it seems. Okay, I want to check whether this baddie, it is what baddie here? It is a single use baddie. Multiple use is not selected. A single use baddie means I can have only one active implementation. Let me check whether this baddie has got any active implementations. How do I check it here? I can choose implementation display. I'll choose the menu implementation display. There are some Z implementations, but all are in inactive state. They're all in what? Inactive. If they are in active state, I'll get in some yellow color kind of thing. So here it is what? Inactive. If you want, you can cross check. Suppose I'll open the Z sample one. What is the implementation? Z sample one. So how do I open? I'll go to SC19. What is the implementation name? Z sample one, right? So Z sample what? One. I'll display. See here, it is clearly showing what? Inactive. So all those implementations are what? Inactive. So what is our agenda here? We have to implement this. So I'll go to SC19, SC19, right? So I want to do the fresh implementation. So in the create implementation block, we don't have any enhancement spot for that baddie. It is existing independently. So I'll choose classic baddie. What is the baddie name? What do you mean by classic baddie? Already we know, which exists independently. What is the baddie name? fi underscore items underscore menu e01. I'll click on create implementation. Yeah, it is asking what? Implementation name. The baddie implementation name. I'll give the implementation name as ZFI items. ZFI items underscore implementation one. ZFI items underscore implementation one. I'll say continue. Yeah, short description. Implementation one, right? If I go to interface tab, already we know on top of your implementation name, SAP will propose the implementation class. So if I go to interface tab, yes, you can see it as propose the implementation class. What is that? ZCL underscore IM underscore FI items underscore IMPL1, right? We have to provide the function text. For the menu items, we have to provide the function text. So how do I provide here? We have the tab here, F codes tab. Yeah, here I have to provide the function text. How many menu items are there? 4. So you provide whatever you want. So I'll provide some text here. ABAP editor, function builder, something, class builder, screen painter. So I'm providing the function text here. Done. I'll go to interface tab. So these are the function code CUS01, CS02, CS03, CS04. I'll go to interface tab. Yeah, you can see here in the earlier example, MC94, for all these menu items, they gave only one function exit. In that function exit, we have the include program, right? We double clicked on that include program, right? We double clicked on that include program and we are checking for what SciUCom and we wrote the logic. Here you can see for this menu items, they gave 4 different methods. You can see list item 01, 02, follow up actions for the item list. They gave separate methods for the 4 menu enhancements. Understood? It depends how they gave. In the earlier example, for all those 9 menu items, they gave only one function exit. Within that function exit, I compared with SciUCom and I wrote the logic. But whereas here, they gave a dedicated method for each and every menu enhancement, follow up actions from the item list. You have to read the documentation also. Okay, documentation is saying the same. You have to go to SC18 and read the documentation. So I need to, yeah, I'll just cancel this. Yeah, so I need to implement this methods. I'll just go back. Yeah, I need to implement this particular method. So I'll double click on this, each method. Yeah, it has opened different method here. Show buttons. I'll just go back. I'll double click on the first method again. Yeah, done. So in the earlier scenario, I compared with SciUCom, but these are the dedicated methods. I believe I can directly call. I'll say call transaction. I'll say C38. Done. I'm directly writing some logic. Check for the syntax. Activate this. Done. Go back. Like this, double click on each method and implement. So you have to go by the components how SAP has given. Right. So I implemented these 4 menu items. So already we know a bad interface might contain many methods. You need not implement all the methods. Whichever method you want to implement, you can implement. Better we activate the implementation class, right? See, it is not asking for any enhancement implementation. So this bad is not migrated. So this kind of baddies are called as what classic baddies. I'll double click on this activate this. Activate your implementation class, baddie implementation class. Then go back, activate your baddie implementation. Yes, it is activated. It is successfully activated. So if I check the implementations now, if I go to SC18, yeah, for this baddie, if I go to implementation display, yeah, I can see here this our implementation just now we implemented. It is showing in what? Yellow color, which means it is what? Active. Anyhow, we can provide only one active implementation because it is single use baddie. It is single use baddie. So let us run the T code. So by reading the documentation, what we understood, the additional menu items will be available in what? Extras menu na. So I'll run the T code FBL3N, FBL3N. Yeah. Here, do we have any extras menu here? No. So this may not be the appropriate screen. So it is asking some input here. Already I told you, you have to take the help of what? Functional consultant to understand what is the sample data you need to provide. For testing purpose, I'll give the account number as 1000, right? I'll execute. It is a range actually, but I'm giving only one value. I'll click on execute. Good. I got a report, ALV report. Yeah, here you can see we have the extras menu. So this may be the appropriate screen. I'll go to extras. Yeah, good. You can see here we have ABAP editor, function builder, class builder, screen painter. If I choose function builder, yes, working fine. If I choose screen painter, yes, working fine. Understood? So like this, you have to implement the menu enhancement. So like this, you try same things for what other T codes. For example, last class for what filter dependent baddies, we have implemented XG01. I told you try for XK01. Similarly, we have many T codes. Yeah, suppose I'll go to SC93. Let me use a T code as CJ03. CJ03. Yeah. Okay. So this is the program. For this program, if I choose go to attributes, this is a package name cn underscore psp underscore opr, cn underscore psp underscore opr. So for this package, check any customer exits or baddies are available. I'll go to SC84. See, sometimes the package name will be lengthy like this. So just try for, okay, first let me try for the whole package. So in SC84 under enhancements, I'll check for customer exit first. I'll give the double click on enhancement. What is the package name? cn underscore psp underscore opr execute. No object. So remove this underscores. Remove the last part. You have to try like this. Okay. If I execute, I don't have. I'll remove this also. Understood? Sometimes the package name will be lengthy. Sometimes you have to give only the initial one. So when I give only the initial one, CN, it is showing that. So when I execute, yeah, you can see it is showing you what? Many customer exits. So this customer exits might contain what? Function exits, menu exits, screen exits, all those things. So randomly, if I take this, what is that? CNEX 0006. What is this? Customer specific fields project definition. CNEX 0006, 0007 is also there. So if I go to SMOD, what is that? CNEX 0006, CNEX 0006. If I display, yeah, if I go to components, good. You can see here, it has got two function exits, it has got two menu exits, it has got some two screen exits. Am I clear? It has got function exits, menu exits, and what? Screen exits. Already we have seen all these examples. Na? So read the documentation. Without reading the documentation, we don't get any further information. So if you read the documentation, yeah, you have to read this. So you can try this as an example for screen enhancement. You can see here, what is the table name they give? PROJS table. Additional fields means what? Screen enhancement, we have seen 2-3 examples. First, you have to add the fields in the base table. What is the table that talking about? Table what? PROJ. Table is what? PROJ. So in this table, check whether we have any customer include, or if it is not there, go for append structure. Add the additional fields. Like this, you go and implement. So they gave some, yeah, procedure. Use the transaction C mod to create an enhancement project and assign it to so and so. Done. So use the transaction SC11, add your fields to the CA underscore pro structure. So in the table PROJ, right, we have this customer include. Go and add the additional fields there. Pay attention to the name range for customer fields. Already I told you. What is that? When you're adding the additional fields, the customer field names must follow the customer namespace standards. It must start with what? ZZ or what? YY. So go to the table, add the additional fields, collect that subscreen number, all those things, and design it. So if you go to SC11, what is the table they're talking? PROJ table. Yeah, in this, if I search for CA underscore PROJ, yeah, you can see we have this customer include. Already we have seen couple of examples. Double click and create the additional fields. Then from the documentation, you collect that subscreen number, subscreen area, all those things. Yes, you can see they gave the main screen number, they gave the subscreen number, they gave the subscreen area, they gave the subscreen area. This is a subscreen program, this is a main program. Design this subscreen with number what? 600, add the additional fields, implement all those things. We have PBO and what? PA function exit here. This is PBO function exit, this is PA function exits. SAP to subscreen, subscreen to program. PBO and what? PI. So refer to the examples which we covered earlier and do it. Right. So far in these enhancements, we have seen how to implement additional validations, how to plug additional fields in the standard transactions, how to plug additional menu items. We have seen the examples both for what? Customer exits as well as what? Baddies. And we also discussed custom baddies also. We have seen filter dependent, filter independent. We have seen multiple filter types also. And last class, I explained the difference between what? Classic baddies and what? Kernel baddies. So go through all these slides. Okay. Then similarly in the same folder, go through this difference between what? Customer exits and what? Baddies. Difference between customer exits and what? Baddies. Right. So go through all these things. Tomorrow what we'll do is, as part of this enhancement, we have one more small topic, enhancement framework. Right? Enhancement framework we'll discuss. So for this, again, we require the knowledge of what? Enhancement spot and enhancement implementation. So far, we have seen many examples for that. We understood that enhancement spot is a container of what? Body definitions, and enhancement implementation is a container of what? Body implementation. That is what we know so far. Tomorrow, when we get into this enhancement framework, we'll discuss about source code enhancements, class enhancement, function group enhancement. So at that time, again, we'll be using the enhancement spots and enhancement implementations. Okay. So practice this part. Any questions for today? Please ask. So probably tomorrow I'll wind up this enhancements concept. Again, we need to come back to enhancement when we get into IDOC extension. IDOC extension. So tomorrow I'll try to finish off enhancement framework so that from day after tomorrow we can start with what? IDOCs. Most probably I can complete tomorrow. Yeah. Any questions?
Sugar, good morning. By tomorrow, enhancements part and
Hello?
sections will cover.
Hello, is anyone? Yeah, Giri, are you speaking?
Yes, yes. Are you able to
Your
hear my
voice is
voice?
very low.
Oh, 1 minute. So
Yeah, it's fine now.
fine now, right? So tomorrow you can cover enhancement spot and enhancement section as well, right?
Enhancement is already covered, Giri. Tomorrow I'm going to revise that. Again in enhancement framework, again we'll see the terminology, enhancement spot and enhancement implementation,
Okay. Okay.
right? So in that source code enhancement, function group enhancement, class enhancements, again we will use what? Enhancement spot and enhancement implementation. What we discussed so far is we understood that enhancement spot is a container of body definitions. Enhancement implementation is a container of body implementations. Tomorrow, again, we'll see what are the further things enhancement spot can contain other than body definition. Similarly, what are the other things enhancement implementations can contain other than body implementation? So that we'll discuss tomorrow. Yeah, any other queries, others? So practice this example CJ03, XK01, MM01, okay, ME21. Okay, we have many T codes which we use frequently. In those T codes, check what kind of enhancements we can implement. Additional validations, additional fields, or additional menu items. Okay, I've shared the material till the last session. Only today's recording and material is pending. I'll try to share by end of today. Okay. Chalo then. So thanks everyone. We'll meet tomorrow.